Well, 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 what do we have here? It looks like Bigfoot's home has been found. One of the only Bigfoot structures in the world that is documented. This is Beaver Dams, New York. We are outside a Sasquatch structure. This is an actual structure of a Bigfoot. This is very typical of what they make. It sort of looks like a teepee. We're at Cinnamon Lake, and I'm working with Tonka. Ike's here too, but this is pretty much an exercise for Tonka. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk around for a couple hours, and Tonka needs to stay at heel. You know why? Because he's a bird dog, and anytime we come to Cinnamon Lake, we're hunting, and he's out in front. So it's not hunting season. He needs to stay at heel. You know, make the dog do it. The dog is more inclined to want to go out and look for birds, but it needs to also stay at heel at times. So we're just going to walk, and Tonka stays at heel. Heel. Keep in mind that this exercise is much more about Tonka than it is Ike. I'm working with Tonka. You know, Ike is just here with us, which he is always here with us when we're hunting. Rusty metal can. It's a sign that a Sasquatch is probably around. They love rusty metal. They lick it like another animal would lick a salt block. They'll lick a rusty can. That's very typical of the damage that a Sasquatch can do to a tree. That is a very large tree. And look at the way that the beast has just twisted it. That's over 10 feet off the ground. You know? Unbelievable. Destructive and not to be trusted. I mean, how many times do we hear about the person that's abducted and anally raped? You know? And then left to walk out of the woods crying. If you see over my shoulder, you know what that is? That's a Sasquatch dwelling. We found Bigfoot. We're in Beaver Dams, New York. Bigfoot hotspot. We're outside a very large Sasquatch den. Let's take you inside and I'll show you what it looks like. This would be a typical Sasquatch structure for a male and a female Bigfoot. Now, if they had a cub, the cub would live here too, but the cubs are kicked out when they're 5 years old to begin a life of their own. Remember, at 5 years old, the young Sasquatch is over 6 feet tall and able to defend itself. There's nothing in the woods that will prey on a Sasquatch. The Sasquatch, remember, is a very predatory animal. It's a meat eater and a killer. Now look at how this is constructed. Look at the doorway. The doorway is very large. It's much larger than a human would need. I can just freely walk into the space. The notion that they do not like fire is not true. They will actually make these sort of primitive fireplaces. And although they do eat their meat raw, they do like warmth just like any other animal. So these are utilized in the winter. It looks like they haven't had a fire here for a long time. Now you'll notice that there's not much in here. The Sasquatch really doesn't like much of anything. This is very typical of a Sasquatch den. Notice the fireplace. They don't cook their food. They eat raw meat. But it's usually very, very clean and tidy like this. There's usually nothing in here. It's just a place that they will sleep. Now, they're probably out hunting right now. So we are going to get out of here because I am not armed. Cornell has been notified. Cornell University has been notified. And they're coming out here to investigate this. And they're probably going to, you know, take this structure down and put it up in the laboratory. In other words, they want to study more about Bigfoot, and they can do that by ripping down his house. If this is where they would bring you, absolutely. This is where they would bring you if you were abducted. They would bring you back to their den, and they would anally rape you. So just, this is where it would happen, and I'm sure it has happened. So we're getting out of here. Come on, Ike. You could really get an idea of the immense size of the creature when you see me standing in front of its structure. So we're going to get out of here before the Sasquatch come back. It's probably out hunting. But I wanted you all to see this. I wanted you to see the Sasquatch structure, which is just immense. Here's the back side of the structure. You can see how large this is compared to Ike. Ike is a large Labrador. It's very tall. It goes at least 25 or 30 feet. It's very large. Notice the stonework, you know? It's very primitive, but it's effective. I don't have a gun with me right now, and Tonka has a bell on and was making a lot of noise coming up here, so I knew if we came up here that there wouldn't be any problem. But this Sasquatch is in the area. We are at his home, and we're going to leave right now because we don't want him coming back. I don't have a gun with me, and the Sasquatch is a deadly animal. It's immense. We're talking about a very large animal. Now, make no mistake, I am coming back here, and I'm coming back here with a gun. And I will kill Sasquatch, and I will eat some Sasquatch meat. I will be the first human to eat Sasquatch, and I'm sure that we'll have recipes for Sasquatch at some point. Oh shit, did you hear that? We're leaving Cinnamon Lake now, and there's a lot of noise in the woods. We're hearing what sounds like every minute or two, we'll hear like a big tree just like snapping, you know? Also, every once in a while we're hearing, oh, did you hear that? Fuck. Smashing rocks together or something? You know? What is that? What is that noise, you ask? That's Tonka. I have a bell on him. We've put a bell on bird dogs so that we can, you know, kind of track them. I need to know where he is if I'm taking a shot. And a bell is helpful. Tonka, hunt him up. Hunt him up, Tonk. Tonka, little Ikey. On a lot of Bigfoot hunters' channels, you're not going to see anything. Check out the 30-foot Sasquatch structure in the deep woods. On a lot of Bigfoot and Sasquatch researchers' channels, you're not going to see anything. What you're going to see is a person taking a camera and pointing it at trees, like Snowwalker Prime, you know, people like that, and saying, look, do you hear that? Do you see that? Not on my channel. You're going to actually see things. You're going to actually see the Bigfoot. You're seeing a Bigfoot home right here. This is it. This is it. This is where they live. You think that I'm not going to get Bigfoot on film? You think that I'm not going to get Bigfoot meat and cook it and barbecue it? Yes, we will be barbecuing Bigfoot meat on this channel. So get ready because I know where they live. There it is, a Bigfoot home. That's my dog, Tonka, in front of it so that you have an idea of actually how large of a structure this is. We're in Beaver Dams, New York. There's absolutely nothing in the North American woods that can take on a Sasquatch. A bear, a mountain lion, nothing. So we're going to get out of here before the Sasquatch come back, and I will return. And when I return, I will be armed. I'll have a gun, and my plan is to shoot and kill a Sasquatch and eat Bigfoot meat and taste. I'll be the first human alive to eat Bigfoot meat.